Hey everyone, welcome to the Sackhoff Show. Happy Tuesday. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful day. I know with an overcrowded podcast space, you being here means the world. So thank you so much for that. Make sure you hit that alert button, that subscribe button that's probably flashing right now for you. Make sure you do that. If you're on audio only, make sure you go ahead and do that there as well. It's the only way you're going to get reminded that we're here. I want to get straight into today's guest. Steven Ogg, yeah? Steven was in Grand Theft Auto, Westworld, Better Caul Saul, Snowpiercer, The Walking Dead. I mean, so many projects. I know you know who he is. It's never a dull moment when Steven is around. Remember to send those questions and comments to thesackoffshow@gmail.com. And if you want to support the show further, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/thesackoffshow. We're creating a great group over there and we'd love to have you. I am just going to get out of your way so you can get to know my wonderful, talented friend, Steven Ogg, better. Met originally because you had briefly dated a friend of mine who shall remain nameless.
Yes.
And that's how we originally met, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And that was sort of my introduction to you. When you got divorced, like, and you got on the dating apps, did you sort of, because that's always a weird time, right? At the end of a breakup. I sort of did that after I was in a long relationship, and you date a series of people that you, just to get your feet wet. You know what I mean? Like, how long did you date before you met Sarah?
Well, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. So
no?
Surprise. Jeez, he's so quick on the answer. It was, like some people on that app were, like, yes, I'm just, like you said, like testing the waters, and I'm like just going out, and I'm like, with me, it was more whoever liked me. So I've always been very fortunate. Like, I never had a lot of dates. I never went out with a lot of people. Just the ones that honestly generally liked me or the ones that I was like, hey, cool. You like
that would be fun.
Yeah. Cause I had other friends that are just like, yeah, every day I've got 10, I got to sort through. I'm like, no, I get one that likes me and I'm good to go.
Well, okay, so you bring that up, and, we jokingly that you're not everyone's cup of tea, but you are known for playing some of the most like unhinged, unpredictable characters out there. And like, at what point in your career did you realize that like you were being hired as like the wild card on these shows? Was it coming natural to you? Is this something that's in you, or was this a character that you cultivated over time that, just stuck?
Well, I guess, as you know, right, you get sort of known for certain things, right?
Yeah.
And it's not always representative of your work or what you can do. Mm-hmm. Like we all know there's some actors, man, fantastic at what they do, and and that's it, right?
Yeah.
So, being the crazy unhinged character could be just that, but I did so many other things, and I came from the theater, so it was, and I still don't think of like a lot of the similarities. And I will say this, so with this unhinged things, because as you know, at the Comic Cons we do. Yeah. Cons, which incredibly grateful, and what a beautiful opportunity and position to be in. But when people generally say, you're such a nice, usually it's, wow, you're taller than I imagined.
These are the handful of things that you always get, because I've got mine too.
Okay, so you can tell me yours after.
Yes.
Because wow, you're much taller. And before the much, well, yeah, I guess taller's first because I always stand in front of my table.
Yeah.
Right? I like give good con. I'm there. People pay for everything, so I'm like, you don't have to sign. You don't have to pay for every signature on three. I'll sign three things. There you go. Bless you. Thank you. You're tall because I'm standing. Yep. And you're just so much nicer. Like you're not what I expected. And I tell people, well, if this was like a documentary con,
Yeah.
then it would be a documentary. But I didn't do documentary. I pretended to be someone, and it's acting. So of course I'm not that person. So those are the things I get.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you about the connection with the Unhinged thing. What are your Comic-Con things?
I'm smaller than people expect me to be because I'm only 5'5".
We get the reverse.
I smile so much, and you're so pretty in person. I get that a lot. And I'm like, yeah, thanks.
That's a tricky one though, because when people say, it's like saying, you look really good today, being you look like yesterday.
I know. And I know what people mean. So I don't take it personally. I've played characters like you. I am known for playing very, very like raw, honest, unfiltered, very natural type women that don't wear a lot of makeup. They don't, do a lot to their physical appearance. They just sort of like go out into the world and do their thing. And so I think people are surprised at times when I show up and look the way that I look or have put on makeup or showered even. And like, have a dress on, so I am used to that. And it's the same things. Every con, I hear the same things. So I don't take it personally because I know that if everyone's thinking the same thing, then it must be, a normal thought.
Sure.
I guess.
And it's interesting with like you're saying with your characters, was that a choice? Or again, like, because you were saying about with me and known for these certain Unhinged characters, it's not a choice I'm making. I'm not sitting at the table. I always say with my scripts everywhere going, okay, is it going to be this theater piece or this musical or a romantic comedy or where's the Unhinged script character? Oh, those Unhinged or sci-fi. No.
Yeah.
These are the jobs I get.
Yeah.
I'm auditioning and I book it and I'm happy to have a job.
Yeah.
These ones that are most recognized are these characters. I'm not seeking those out. So like with you, was that something you were seeking out? I want to be, raw and natural and not be the one who's all made up and has to do that.
I think originally, I fought for Starbuck because I wanted to have a change in my career because I was getting very stereotypical, blonde, angsty sort of teenage roles.
Starbuck is Battlestar Galactica.
Yes, sir.
For all of the listeners.
For everyone who needs to know.
Now, when you did Starbuck, was Starbuck not originally in the 70s version with Dirk Benedict? Was Starbuck a man?
Yes, in the original. And then it was turned into a woman for my version. I at the time just did what I do. I didn't want to be in hair and makeup for a long time. So I was like, my character wouldn't have any makeup on anyway because she's military. So she wouldn't have her hair done because she just woke up. And that gets me out of hair and makeup in 5 minutes. I had never studied, so I didn't have a method. And I just kind of was free and crazy. And that sort of developed my style within that project. Yeah.
Very sort of organic.
Yeah. Okay. So then what is sort of your relationship with being, because it's complicated, I would imagine. Because do you find yourself seeking roles that are the opposite of what you've played just to remind people that you are an actor and you can do more than what they know you from?
I certainly, I mean, I seek work for foremost. I love to act. I still love to act. Like there's some actors that seem to get sort of, they're like, I'm still, like
Yeah.
all of it, like from the nerves to the excitement to like obviously film and TV is so different, but like the repetition of scenes, I'm like this project I shot, the Netflix, the new Unabomber
Yeah.
film.
I just saw that you were in that.
And and we had such a great laugh. I mean, I just have a tiny part and whatever. I got to play head of the FBI, which, talk about playing against type, was great because that's what I cut my hair for, because previously it was down to here. Clean shaven. I had some glasses that were my father's that I have a sort of a collection of different glasses, not that I need glasses, but just to look completely different and to just be the guy who's like, make the call, go over there. Great. Like, not simple, but just such a different character.
Yeah.
Did I seek that out specifically? No, that was, again, an opportunity. And then, I got it. The one thing I will say regarding did I seek out other roles, there was sort of a good 2-year period. I was doing a lot of these, like, sort of, well, not sort of, they're Canadian indie films. So I worked in Canada a lot prior to, like, shooting Snowpiercer in Vancouver. Up to that, I spent 20 years in New York, very focused on, at first, theater, because this was back in the 1850s. And was very different. You're either a theater actor, commercial actor, TV actor, or film actor.
Right.
No mixing, right? So it's theater first, and then I'm not doing that, so maybe TV. And if I make a bunch of money, I'll get it and go back to Vancouver and have a production studio. And, life happens, it changes.
Yeah.
But so, point is then when I had this, I was like, I want to be like just the dad. So I did this Scared Shitless, which was this sort of horror comedy, which was very interesting to find that balance of a horror comedy. The father, son, plumbing, they're plumbers, a duo.
So they're laying a lot of pipe?
Laying a lot of pipe. Got a great picture I'll find and send you later that will make you go, what? But it was a wonderful, like, father-son. And then I did... there was another one. I did one in Hazard, which was a small part, but just, again, like a guy who's just, I don't want to say normal characters.
Yeah.
But certainly not Unhinged, nothing big. I just really wanted to focus on doing different, sort of 2 years of this. Great for me, doesn't move the needle forward really within our business. Which is fine. It's not always about that. But that was certainly a specific, yes, I want to do something different.
So you're so into so many things. I think that's one of the things that surprised me when I met you is just how diverse your interests are. And what was it about acting that spoke to you to go after it as a career, and what is it about it now that keeps you in love with it?
I love the performing of it. Business of it, I don't.
Oh God, no, I hate that. Like the 5 minutes a day I get to spend acting on set is my happy spot.
And that's the thing too, right? Is we could be on a set for 8 hours, 9 hours. And I remember once, I forget what show it was, we kind of, like, we were like, let's actually, if we can, remember to time when we're actually acting.
Oh my God, I've never done that. So curious.
And this was, again, this is, barely remembering anyways, but let's say it was a 12-hour day. It was something astounding, like 7-8 minutes of action. Cut, action, cut throughout 12 hours was something like 6 or 7 minutes.
Yeah. I say that all the time, that, like, artists we're never meant to be business people. Like, I am so confused by so much of the business aspect of this and everything that goes into being a successful actor these days, quote unquote, is all really complicated. What's not complicated to me is just that 7 minutes. That's what keeps me hanging on.
Is those 7 minutes. It's crazy when you think about it, like that little amount of time can do it. And that's why, like, I love film and TV for the repetition of it. Like, I'll do a scene 20 times. I don't mind. Yeah. Because every time I get to say that line again, and I get to look at this person, and I get to, even with like the Unabomb film of like having a pen, let's say, you just have a pen, and let's say all you have to do is pick up a pen maybe and mark something. Those little things. I'm like, okay, well, if I get to do it 20 times, I want to maybe try something different. Or how do I say something about how this guy, does he look at it before he opens it? Or why is he, I don't know. It just, that excites me. And that's the process and the craft. Which I still love, and it's just all the shit in between. It takes me down, and I've been kind of going through some times. A lovely chat today with one of my agents in London. It's a London based, because I'm half British and did the BBC show over there, and want to work more over there.
There's so much work happening in Europe. It makes complete sense. Yeah,
there's a lot of things filming over there. So, but yeah, it's just that that time of work, of play, I really enjoy. And it's just, again, the times in between can be tough. And
do you go to work with a plan, like for your characters? What's your process like? Do you exist and do you thrive on that spontaneity as well? Or is it, what's your method, if you have one?
I love to be open. Because I think you have to be. Like, I certainly have ideas. I'm like a repetition person. So before a project is coming up, I'll read the let's say the whole script or the whatever it is. If you're on a show, that episode over and over and over and over and over, and then that includes my lines over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
Like in the morning, I'll start the day with going over, and then it goes in my head, and then I'm on the Peloton for an hour or an hour and a half, and I start to think of stuff, and I don't necessarily read the script, go over the lines, but I think about the lines, and it's sort of this organic process where I start to think, oh God, what if he meant that? Or what if the connection to that is, it just becomes somewhat of an organic process through the repetition that then leads me to a place. I come in prepared, but not myopic.
You're not rigid in it.
Yeah, because I'm like, you don't know what you're going to face.
Well, you don't know what the person opposite you is going to give you.
Exactly. Or your energy. So all of a sudden you might have to, as that character, kind of change your tactic when you're stepping in the ring with someone, because it's not what's on the page. Because I always say, and I say this every time, and I've said it and I probably always will, it never ceases to amaze me when you go over something as much as I do, and then you get onto a stage or you're in the scene, and you're going and you're talking with someone. This is why I love to do as many takes. I don't care. And you're going and you're talking, and then all of a sudden you're like, and then afterwards you have this, oh my God, and you're like, that's what the scene's about? I've read that 100 times. I've read 1,000 times, and I didn't hear that. Because you're in a bubble with just doing this, And until someone else gives it, and whatever that is, it could be, like you said, gives you nothing, or it could be gives you more than you expected. It's just giving you something that if you're open and you're raw, you take it in. And it's just like, that's where I say with directors, a good director, when they're giving notes, gives you something tangible as an actor. So that means be more happy, sad. How the fuck do I do that? Do, this, something specific that you're like, okay, I can do that. That's a good director. An even better director, for me personally, is when tangible note is 1, 2, makes the scene better. Mm-hmm. And that's where after you do a scene, after a note's been given, or a director who's good at what they do gives you something, you're like, oh, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Now let's do it again, because now I understand.
Now you've got something.
No, you're my mom.
Yeah. I was given advice once, and it was to be more like this actor. And I was like, who played a character. So this big famous character. And I was like, well, what does that mean to you? I was like frozen and had no idea what that meant. And I'm trying to figure out, well, what aspect of that character do you, what do you want? Like, and I have prided myself for years of knowing what a director wants before, as they're walking up, I can tell what they want. Like, I think that happens in TV. You get that. You can, because you're fast. You have to start guessing what people want. And that shook me. I was like, I don't know how to take that note. I don't know how to take it.
Are you a good communicator in that situation? Like, were you able to say, I don't understand what you're asking me to do?
No, I didn't. I didn't, because I felt insecure in that I was supposed to know what that meant. And so I just sort of, I may have said, like, in what way. But regardless, I didn't get, in that situation what I needed. But so that's what I completely relate to that. Give me something tangible.
So how did you just then did you do the scene the next just louder?
No, I just did what I wanted to do. I just kept doing what I wanted to do. Because I was like, okay. I always find shit when someone doesn't, like, when someone gives a direction like that, where you're like left feeling like, what the fuck? That makes no sense and I can't do it. It just means they want something different. So sometimes I'll just talk louder. And then they'll be like, thank you for taking such good direction. Thank you for taking the note. I loved it. Okay, so I want to talk about, because we're talking about relationships with characters and things. How did Grand Theft Auto come about? And did you have any idea that a video game was going to stay with you for 10 years?
Well, first of all, thank goodness, because, it helps pay the bills, right?
Yeah.
Doing the cons, as we know.
Is that the thing that most people at cons are coming up to talk to you about? Or is it a mix?
It depends. Like, I just did one this past weekend in Hartford, which was just a gaming con. But still, it's The Walking Dead. It's sort of Grand Theft Auto and The Walking Dead are the big ones. But it's been nice that I've noticed a change of, like, especially over in Europe. Well, no, I shouldn't say especially in Europe, but there's been a lot of people with different projects, like even this revival TV show I did, Sci-Fi, where I was a priest.
Yeah.
And people talked about that, or people speak about other things that aren't so well known, if you will. Mm-hmm. And that's been nice. And a lot of people just sort of like, oh, your Instagram means so much. Thanks for being, it's social media and it is a curated Instagram, but it is also very much my art installation. So people have sort of I've seen over 10 years, the switch from first like GTA, Walking Dead, to more of the well-rounded I'd found a box recently of my first volume of poetry, a book that I published in it was the UK publisher, but moved and found a box. I was like, holy fuck, because it's all out of print, sold out.
Yeah.
So I took that to, I think it was to the one.
You had it in Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 12 of them people bought, and people are like, when's your next one coming out? So it's been nice to see the shift, but yes, predominantly, obviously, because the recognition of GTA and then Walking Dead. But I've seen the shift of people recognizing, and even like Snowpiercer or Westworld. I get a lot of Better Caul Saul, which is crazy because I had 2 little scenes in 2 of the shows, and the third one I couldn't do because I was in Vancouver with COVID and the quarantine.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised at that. So there's been others, but yeah, certainly the Grand Theft Auto, and yeah, I'm just curious. I always ask people, like, when the 6th one comes out next year, because I'm not a gamer.
Well, they keep pushing it, right? The next Grand Theft Auto?
No, I think it's coming out next year.
Is it? Okay.
I don't know. Like, again, I don't know these things. When people I don't know. Even our game, the GTA 5, thank goodness for Ned and Sean, because Ned like streams on YouTube, or he does all this. He's in it and he plays it, and they know all the stuff. So at panels and stuff, I just
point to them.
People still know I've never played the game. And this past weekend, I had some people are like, such an amazing game. You got to experience once, like just play it once. And so I said to both of these, or when people say this, I'd be like, oh yeah, have you read Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment? You gotta read that at least once. Just
once in your life. You gotta get through that one.
And the who?
Yeah.
Dostoevsky, man, one of the best writers. Or read the Brothers Karamazov, or how about George Eliot's Middlemarch? Or how about this one? It's the same thing. It's not their cup of tea, and that's fine. Yeah. The video game's not my cup of tea, and that's fine.
I say that to my dad all the time, because my dad's like, why don't you want to do this thing? And I was like, well, because I have a finite amount of free time. And I choose to do it partaking in things that I enjoy. I don't want to go do a bunch of stuff I don't enjoy. It's not my thing. I don't want to spend hours on a boat learning how to operate it. Like, that's just like, I know you love that. I don't. If you want to come up with something that we can do together so we can spend time together, I would love that. But I don't want to go do something that I have no interest in just because you love it. Because it's not a one-off thing. It's a lifetime commitment of learning how to do something. Sure. And those games are hard. They're so all-encompassing. I can't play video games now. There's too many ups, downs, lefts, rights, this button, that button. Like, I can't,
These sausages do not function very well. So even doing like the controllers, I just can't do it. And it just doesn't interest me. Like, I have my thing, and the older that it's like, unlike you, your life has completely changed for a reason that your time is much more precious. I don't have those responsibilities, but I also don't care to just do something I'm not interested in.
Yeah. You talk online. I mean, talk about your social media, because you're so open and honest about mental health and when you're down, and what books have provided to you, and what art means to you, and you talk about your down days and things like that.
It's all like the books, the art books, the Taschen books. Those are the stuff I'll go pick those up in the morning when I'm like art and words.
Yeah. So for you then, on social media, why did that become important to you to use that platform for that?
I think, it's, at first it was about, because it's part of the business, right? Like when I first joined the Instagram, I don't even remember now, whenever it was. And the agent, the manager, whoever I was working with at the time, you got to get on this Instagram, So you do it like for the bit. It's part of the business, right? Okay, so I'll get on it. Now I've met. So like, and congratulations and shout out to Philip Barantini, who just won for Adolescents.
Oh God.
Stephen Graham, who we were just texting because I was like, Alfie. I was like, Alfie, Alfie's his son. And he was at the Emmys with him. I was like, Alfie. Yeah. I haven't seen him in like 3 years, Alfie. And I'm like, oh my God, look at you. You've grown up. But through Instagram and messaging people that inspired me when they first did the movie Boiling Point, that's how I connected with Philip. And that's how I ended up in Manchester shooting the TV series Boiling Point with Steven and Philip. And that's how I ended up meeting them and becoming, friends.
Interesting.
So there was that, which is why I continue to hope like someone will, and it's not your typical, the projects I'm seeking aren't the things like a Marvel movie or that's not my thing. I do them, of course. Like I said, I'm not at a table with
it's a job, of course.
But so this is how it sort of went from, it's business. It's still businessy for me, the way I kind of try to curate it or what a great, I just saw this amazing film and then I kind of try to tag everyone and hopefully maybe that person goes, oh my, Steven, oh, he likes this. But it became kind of this art installation for me in the sense, and both emotionally and through words, is because my friends, so many friends are singers and songwriters. Mm-hmm. They can write a song. So many painter friends or sculptors, and they can create. I don't have those skills. What can I do? My imagination, my creativity. I need to come up with a different analogy because this one is getting tried and just boring. But it's a boil. And I need to squeeze it. And that's my creative juice in this boil. And it gets really infected. So a lot of times I hear I read something in a book, a passage, or there's a certain light in the morning. The light in this house is gorgeous and it passes through some flowers. So the shadow on the wall, like I just had posted something on my stories with this do whatever you want, no one gives a fuck piece of art on the wall, and the way the light blasted through, and I'm like, oh, and then I need to, and it's just to get it out. And it makes me feel creative. It makes me feel like I'm putting the creative energy out there. So that's how it all sort of that's what it becomes for me. And it's raw. It is unfiltered.
Yeah.
But it's so curated. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not
like you don't think about it.
Yeah, I do. It's like my writing when I just, bleh.
Yeah.
It comes out and I don't go and re-edit it, but I'll get words or I'm reading something and something will just hit me, a wave of whatever it is, a thought, and I just like to get it down and share. I can't write a song and I can't paint the painting and I can't just act, like we can't just act.
Yeah.
So that's what that's how that all came about, is it kind of makes me feel like I've done something creative. And it holds me accountable in a sense. Like I was listening to there's a great BBC podcast called This Creative Life or something, but it interviews like artists from like Marina Abramovich to Bill Nighy, the actor, to this one I listened to yesterday or today, I don't know. It was Salman Rushdie. Mm-hmm. Salman Rushdie was talking about his discipline as a writer. He's very disciplined. And I think he would probably learn this during the fatwa when he was, sentenced to be killed for his Satanic Verses book. And so he was basically housebound, but he has a discipline, writing. And that's sort of what it became for me. And that's the super long-winded answer, I hold myself accountable by creating something, squeezing it. The pus goes out there into the world. I don't engage with people on it. I'm not like...
No.
It's
you just put it out and don't look again.
Take it. Like, yeah.
Do you care what people think about you?
I mean, yeah, no one wants to be hated. I don't think. Maybe if that's your thing. Some people maybe, but Yeah, I mean, I care. Do I take it in?
Hmm.
Not really. Like the boundaries, it's sort of like the analogy with cons, right? So at the cons, it's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Like when we used to do the Walking Dead, the Walker Stalker cons, it was tough. And also, I was still in that state of like, this isn't why I'm acting kind of thing of like,
So were you sort of reluctant to get into conventions in the beginning?
Yeah.
What was it about that? Was it just a preconceived idea that you had of them, or?
like, I feel like I'm selling out, that this isn't pure. This isn't what the art form is about. All those sort of, they are kind of these puerile notions that even, years ago of being a theater actor, and I wouldn't do that because I'm a theater actor. Get over yourself. And it took some years, but the energy is the point being boundaries, right?
Yeah.
So do I care what people think? Sure. But I have boundaries that let certain things in. So when you have, as you will know, and it doesn't seem as bad lately, but I know with the Walker Stalkers, we used to get a lot of like Make-A-Wish, people, a lot of like people with cancer that are dying, or people, I just had this recently over in Europe with like an agoraphobe that the only reason they came out was to see me, like a lot, right? You know how these things are, like people just on you. And it used to be very tough. And we used to go behind, our little curtains that we have behind our tables, and we'd all have a good cry sometimes and hug each other and,
Yeah.
and it gets really tough. So it was a very draining experience. Always grateful to make some money because, again, the reality of us as artists is very different than what people think. If you're an actor, you're rich. That's not how it works. So it was, I've now developed not only such gratitude for the ability and opportunity to do these. It's the same as I say to people all the time. It's like sports. I don't understand sports. I'm not a sports guy. I don't watch sports. I don't understand why people spend $15 for a shitty beer and hundreds of dollars, thousands of going to see a game of whatever sport.
Yeah.
But it makes them happy. So I'm not judging that person. These people come to the Comic-Con. They pay to get in. They pay to meet us. They pay to have a selfie. They pay for
a lot of money.
They pay for. So I just have nothing but like, thank you. Like, don't, like when people say thank you for coming here, I'm like, I'm here because you. You.
Have cons opened you up creatively to different aspects of that genre work that seems to be floating around? Like, has it given you an interest in graphic novels? So none of that. Interesting.
No. Creatively, I go dead on the weekends at the cons of anything. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm like exhausted. Like I can't, I try to do my yoga in the morning. I can't read a book. I just become sort of numb.
Has somebody tried to give you graphic novels before? Like really good graphic novels that like you could sink your teeth into, that are like works of art, not only visually, but in, the story and the writing?
The only one I've truly read, I'm looking for it, is called From Hell. Are you a novel?
Not a connoisseur, but I've heard of From Hell.
Okay, so it's a big, it's like this size. It's a big one, but it has to do like Jack the Ripper and and initially I was auditioning for something that someone actually suggested that to do kind of research. That's honestly the only one I've ever looked at. There's been obviously with The Walking Dead, and I never looked at those.
Well, why would you? Your character wasn't in them.
Wasn't in it, but Snowpiercer. Now, Snowpiercer, we were given the French, so it was based on this French graphic novel, which I wish the show went where the graphic novels did. It was dark, like mutated babies.
Do you think it didn't go that way because of the network and where it was placed? Because wasn't it technically, it was on USA, right?
It kept getting it switched around. There's also showrunners, the new, and as you know, you get a new showrunner. They change the theme, they change then they have to fight with the now. Like everyone is answering to someone, and what happens in that case? Like I just did this show. Actually, did we all meet together with Ryan?
Ryan. Oh, Robbins?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan was there. Yeah.
So we did a show in Alberta together.
Okay.
That is a great example of, I think, what should be done. So it's in the Pines, and they're still finishing it. But what they did is they did, is it six episodes, I think? They financed it themselves. They're finishing it themselves. The package is their package of 6 episodes, their entire series that then they're going to present and pitch, which is beautiful because then there's no change. There's no people diluting it and pulling it apart and making it something it's not. And, I think that's a great, to be in that position, to have that opportunity is great.
To be able to do that takes a lot of financial fortitude to be able to actually do that out the gate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and we shot that in Alberta too. So it's like, I don't know where it's at right now, but it's, Canadian production. And I think it's really good. Super interesting story. Great story. But yeah, I have to ask Ryan about that.
Yeah. What was it like establishing your character? Because we brought up The Walking Dead. What was it like establishing a character that wasn't in the comic books? Did that give you a lot more freedom when you were creating him?
I mean, obviously there's I didn't have to worry about any comparison. So there's that, right? If you're in that world and you've got to be aware of expectations for if you were in the comic books. No, I mean, I didn't feel any pressure that this character wasn't any more than I don't know. I think I would have if he was in. No, it just that character, and I say this, and especially, and it kind of circles around with the unhinged character thing. So they were very close in time with the GTA Trevor and The Walking Dead Simon. These people are like, you're so great at playing unhinged characters. Well, here's the reality. Yes, I am. I can do that. But they both, so with the GTA world, that character, we shot that over 3.5 years, right? Motion capture, 3 weeks, 2 weeks seasonally. So that's 3-4 times a year. Then the next year, 2 weeks, it's spread out. We don't have the whole script. So you're doing what you have. Now, obviously with that character, the language, the stuff he says, it's a pretty good footprint for what I step into.
Yeah.
Just because he's so unhinged. And so it wasn't as much, but there's a similarity when I get to Simon in The Walking Dead. Again, didn't have the full season. Didn't have the full script.
So you had no idea what was going to happen with Simon? Did they know? Episode
to episode. No.
Really?
So what do you do in that case? Well, you get your script, and as an actor, you want to serve the story. You want to do the best job. You want to understand the world as much as you can, which Andrew Lincoln was wonderful, and everyone's wonderful at explaining the world and what's going on and what stage we're at. But I have just this episode. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what happened before. I don't know. Westworld was the same thing. Westworld is you have no option but to be in the moment because you literally don't have any moment going forward. So what am I going to do? All right. Well, obviously you've got the words. You're serving the words in the story. And this character, I wanted to put a little bit of this in there. I wanted to put a little bit of this in there. Mm-hmm. It's more for, as an actor, if the writers and producer go, oh, he's not just creepy, he's kind of funny. Maybe we could make him the funny guy.
Right.
Oh no, this guy can get fucking psycho. maybe we make him say, you know what? I noticed that he can be really friendly. Maybe we should flip him and he goes to the good side. The unpredictable quality, therefore, these characters that are unpredictable, a lot of it is based on Steven, the actor, not knowing where the fuck I'm going and wanting to present as many options.
Right.
And
you're giving them the whole menu so they can, because if they're writing as you're going along, it's actually a really incredibly intelligent way to attack a character. I mean, whether it's, you're just doing it because you're serving the character and the possibilities, but at the same time, you're showing them all the different things that they could potentially do with your character. And you won't know what influence that had until the end when you see the characters sort of come together.
And so that's the idea. Now, I ended up getting killed anyways, and off I went. But that's where a lot of that came from, is that unpredictable nature is being because I don't know where I'm going. So I want to stick around as long as I can.
Was it fun to come back and be a zombie for even just like a bit?
I wish it was longer. They cut Jeffrey talking again. I'm like, we know Jeffrey can talk. We hear him all the time. This is
Cut
my
to
moment.
me.
Yeah, this is my zombie moment. So I was a little bummed that, because Greg is just, the team is incredible.
I know. How long did it take to get in that?
I forget now, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't long at all.
Okay.
But it was this thing of I really wanted to try to explore this idea of what the life of the character of Simon was like in the zombie, what awareness. It was sort of just talking about, again, in London, about dementia, and when my dad is in a place with his dementia, and my agent's mom has got dementia, Alzheimer's too. And so we're talking about I wonder what they at what point did they stop? Were they able to go, this is the last time I'm going to remember? Oh. Just interesting to try to get in the head. What I wanted to do with Simon and the zombie was be like this pit bull of this guy who still didn't want to be killed and was still pissed off that someone that had no bum killed me. Negan.
Yeah.
Jeffrey has a lovely, delicious bum in real life, but he played a flat bum Negan, which makes him an incredible actor, because when you see his beautiful round tush, you would never imagine that Negan would have no ass, but Negan didn't have that. So Simon was so angry, and he kind of burst out of the zombie. So I became I was kind of really proud of it. I was like, this is kind of different. It was like an art this performance art. Cut to Jeffrey talking, and there's me blurred going, ah, ah.
You never know, where they're going to go with the story. You can deliver the most beautiful performance, and the editor and the director are inspired to push it on somebody else during that. You have no idea what your performance was in service of. And that's why I try not to think too much, It's
also not I don't take it personally, because it's not Westworld was a great example. I had some of my best work in that show gone.
It's on your back.
So the first season, the first season, they cut an entire actor out of the first season that was there and shot the whole season, and he's gone. It's just the way it is, especially these large shows. After those large shows, I was like, I just want to do a 2 or 3 person show.
I know.
But and that's what I've developed with a team. I've got not a team, but I've got the writer of doing this one-man theatrical production, which is similar to, I don't know if you've ever seen, Cillian Murphy did. He did Grief is the Thing with Feathers, which was a Max Porter. He did Mr. Man.
Oh, yeah.
Just these one-man productions. They're monologues, or think of Beckett's Crap's Last Tape. And I'm doing that because I just want it to be, I'm still struggling a way to figure out how to do it. Because I'm the producer, I'm the creative, and how do we get finance, and I still, months later, I still feel completely fucking lost, but it's just me. And It'll
Yeah.
be fucking great or it'll really suck, but guaranteed you're going to feel something. And there's no one cutting. There's no one. It just, and it's not for
Mm.
well, I guess it's self-indulgent in a way, but I just want, and like I'd love to get back into theaters. It's so tough with once you're out of that game, it's tough to
Yeah. Because it's a completely different medium, different, I mean, and it's
just the whole thing. Like even
yeah.
Steven, yeah, like talking about Steven, I just love so much as a human being. But we talked years ago about like I wanted to do Lonesome West with him, Martin McDonough, like, you know, kill it.
Yeah.
But it's, it's just you just keep kind of grinding away, hoping, you know.
Yes, the grind is real. Especially these days, the industry has changed so much. And I still consider it to be such a gift to be able to work in this industry, I mean, I love acting. I love it. I cannot imagine doing anything else. I've tried to think about what else I could do. And every single time I'm like, I don't want to do anything else. It's just, it's so.
Couldn't have a resume. Like I couldn't.
No,
I don't know what I would do.
I don't even know if I could get a job like at Starbucks.
Yeah, like I literally have like, well, I guess I could.
I mean, maybe I could get a job at Starbucks just for novelty purposes. Like I might be able to get them to hire me just for shits and giggles.
And just dress up as the character, maybe?
Just wear a helmet and just like make lattes. Like that's all but I have one latte I can make because I can't really do much. I can make my drink and that's about it. This has been really wonderful. I appreciate getting to know you a little bit better. And every time we find ourselves at a convention, next time we should, I don't know if you drink, but we should go have a beer or an NA beer. And
I have been known to have an IPA or two, but
me too, but don't tell anybody. All right. Have an awesome day. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Hindsight. Thank you so much for sticking around for this. We're just going to get straight into, I know how Michael Rosenbaum, inside of you, how that was created, because it makes complete sense. We got into Steven Ogg today.
We got inside
Steven Ogg, which is so interesting because Rosie and I have so many of the same guests, and Steven was actually on his podcast as well. So if you want more Steven, you can go listen to that. Actually, a little plug for Michael. Are you familiar with Steven?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big Grand Theft Auto guy. So like
you are.
He is Trevor, and
don't say that to him, though.
I know. It's interesting when setting up for this, how much you kind of find out how he's got a bit of a complicated feeling about it. But I think you and I were talking a little bit before the interview about how it is just one of those things where you can't really predict that you're going to be part of a global dominating billion-dollar project. And one of the standout characters from that series. And he's just synonymous with it now.
I mean, look, people try to figure that stuff out every single day, like we talk about this in relation to Battlestar Galactica all the time. You couldn't possibly know that it was going to be what it is. And what it is 25 years later, it's almost bigger now than it was. No, I can actually say that. It is a bigger show now than it was when it originally aired.
Yeah, it's had time to gather fans and I mean, it's an interesting phenomenon. We've had people on the show before who are known for particular roles, and we've talked about this, how it's sort of a blessing and a curse in a way. But I think, he talks about it too, like the ability to like continue to have an income based off of that with the conventions and stuff is part of the blessing that comes with this kind of work that you don't get from being on the pit. No shade against the pit.
Yeah, but you don't. Like, I don't think I'm going to see Noah Wiley at a con anytime soon, probably for multiple reasons. But not yet. You never know. Someday. it is a blessing and a curse. We've talked about that. But one of the things that I love, and it's interesting to hear him talk about how he was adverse to it, because so many people are in the beginning, even myself, you know.
Yeah.
When you think about the convention circuit, what it used to be, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to be, I can't do that. And then you start attending them for whatever reason, whether it's you're contractually obligated, the rest of your cast is going, and, you know, you're the only one who hasn't gone. So you're starting to look like you're like, you know, that you have feelings about it. So you start to go, because whatever the reason is, most people will go to a convention, one or two, and they'll start to understand it. Yeah. They'll start to understand that what it really is about at its core is connecting with your fan base. And that is something that I will never look down upon. I love that.
No, it's I mean, we've talked about it so many times on this podcast, but it's both a smart idea. Well, I don't know how to phrase this exactly, but it's like, it's a business / just personal enjoyment thing, because it's like, one, part of getting into acting is, at least I assume, I'm not an actor, but is you are looking for people to enjoy what you do.
Are you talking about validation, Jeph?
Yeah, validation.
Yeah, I mean, of course. You know, there is an aspect of that. You know, I've always joked that if I'm having a rough day, I just need to walk into a comic book store. And I say, it's like my little hit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some people shop. I pop into,
just to get that. What kind of reaction are you looking for? People like the head turning, going, "Oh my God, is that?"
It's really funny. I'm just kidding. I've never done that, but it is a byproduct of walking into a comic book store that people inevitably will be like, "Oh my God, Battlestar Galactica, I love it," or Mandalorian.
Who, me?
Who? Moi? What? So yes, of course, there is an aspect to it. You know, one of the things that I love about our work, and I think that Steven is very similar, is how many people have enjoyed your work. That is one of the reasons why I don't want to act into an echo chamber. I'd still be acting in my bathroom and not being paid for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like
and you're doing that.
I still do that, of course. But like, I love to hear that my art is, helping, is people are finding enjoyment from it. That's cool.
Yeah.
Have you read From Hell?
Yeah, that's Alan Moore. He didn't mention it, the author, but it's Alan Moore. Great graphic novel, writer of Watchmen, if anybody's not aware, which I feel like people listening this far into the episode are probably pretty aware. So
I was actually wanted to bring that up because I didn't make the connection at the time, and I should have, because Watchmen was one of the first graphic novels that I ever looked at.
For a lot of people. I mean, it's like...
Yeah. And of course I know it's Alan Moore, especially having just done the animated reimagining of it. So like, I as soon as I didn't realize he wrote From Hell though. And I should have known that.
Yeah, it's a good one. If you haven't read it, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
The movie version, not fantastic.
Not fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I see what they were going for, but not fantastic.
But the graphic novel is one of the better ones out there, and any of Alan Moore's stuff is worth checking out.
Yeah. The last like sort of impression that I have from Steven, number one, this was the first time that I'd actually talked to Steven and like had like a calm interaction, because normally both of our energies are super high, and I feel like he and I are both the same type of person, where if you're gonna come at me with a 10, I'm gonna come at you with a 10 as well, and then we're just like, you know, our energy goes crazy. He's incredibly intellectual and smart.
Yeah. I mean, that's the big takeaway for me, is like, not that it's surprising, but being primarily known for, you know, and I thought you did a really good job in this interview of finding a way to ask those questions, you know?
Yeah, like, it was hard because I know he doesn't want to talk about, you know, or not that he doesn't want to talk about it, but he doesn't want to be, I think that Steven is really, really wanting he's very appreciative of where he's come from and the opportunities that he's had because he's loved those characters. He's loved them. But he also wants to do more, which I get that. Like I feel that too.
And to be known for such degenerate roles and then to be such a person that is interested in, Russian literature and art and whatever that book he was reading, which if you're an audio listener only, that book was about the size of, I don't know, a cinder block.
Yeah. It was massive.
Yeah.
Like you could, if someone broke into your house, you could use it as a weapon.
Exactly.
That's how big
Not
it was.
exactly something you would expect one of his characters to be carrying around. But
No.
super interesting guy.
Super interesting guy. Love talking to him. Hope you guys enjoyed the interview. We're going to get straight into the Patreon. We're going to watch some clips of Trevor from Grand Theft Auto in the Patreon. We're going to talk about social media a little bit. We're going to answer some emails and some questions. We're also, I don't know, we're going to talk about the rumors of the Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I wrote down some things that Katee doesn't know about that we're going to talk about.
You did. You wrote down things. I have no idea what you're going to talk about. But we're going to go do that. I'm going to remind you guys to send those comments and stuff to those comments and stuff to the sackhoffshow@gmail.com. And if you want to join us for the Patreon, come on over. You can do that. We're gaining steam over there, and I love it. There's merch. There's interactions. There's extra content. There's more extra content coming. And it's a great community. So that's the patreon.com/the Sackhoff Show. Other than that, we will just see you guys next Tuesday, and that's what's up.